Oh, thank the heavens you were here. It's so nice to still have a hero in these times.
Hold on, Grandma. You're getting ahead of yourself. How much is this purse worth to you?
I beg your pardon.
I'm all out of beer, Grandma. What do you say?
Oh no. Do you mean alcohol? It's bad for you. And you shouldn't drink it either. I have some lovely tea for you. Wait! He stole! Spider-Man stole from me!
Hey! What's up, y'all? We're back with another action figure review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Sentinel Into the Spiderverse SpiderMan Noir. One of many versions of Spider-Man I know squat about, just that he's more of a dark, more kind of cynical Spider-Man, and I dig that. Cynical people are kind of funny. I bought this Miles Morales. I did buy the clear version as well, and both those figures were tight, so I was pretty curious to see how they would do for this version of Spider-Man. And he's got some really cool things going on, and some things that may not be as well received. I'll put it like that. Visually, I go back and forth with if this guy should have had a matte finish rather than this semi-gloss satin type of look, because just by design, when you put him on the shelf, he's going to get lost and kind of swallowed into your display. And with this finish he has, he kind of shines, pops a little bit more, but I think that's as far as that goes. I think a matte finish might have made this figure look more premium. However, the level of gloss he does have does make you notice the beautiful sculpting more, so that's pretty cool. I especially like the details they did for the face, that gloss and satin separation, as well as the two tones for his goggles. That's awesome. And that webbing looks crisp. When the Rocketeer was at the shop getting tailored, I swear Noir was right behind him like, give me mine in black. I like his outfit, so that's kind of cool. You got some tactical pockets down here to break up the outfit, and you even have some additional line work detail for his pants. I appreciate that. I think his look is more like a hybrid, maybe even closer to how he looks in the comics rather than the movie, but a less cartoony looking Spider Noir, I'm okay with that. And now we gotta address the elephant in the room. Everybody was put off by this Figma Revoltech type of assembly right here. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm definitely on the hunt for an accurate wired trench coat. Do like the dynamic sculpt work they did for these straps. Some might argue they could have included a relax set, but me personally, it's not that serious to me, but I can understand if you feel that way. All four of these pieces move independently of the upper part of the coat, and they tend to fall out kind of easy when you're articulating, so that's a little unfortunate. For your accessories, so Spider Noir comes with some decent options, good spread of hands, and I like that they included enough detail into the gloves too, and his fingers are really skinny too, real spidery. Fingers do have a flex to it, and the hands point on and off the pegs nice and easy, so no problems with that. Then you got a set of these whip hands right here. The webs appear to be glued to the hand. I have no problems with that, and the webs look nice, got a little flex to it. You got a set of these creeper hands, and you have a set of these extra wide big hamburger or satellite phone holding hands, or you can use them like he's getting someone's attention in stop motion or simulating him cocking his pistol or holding his hand for support. Then you got a set of these web lines right here. I like the frosty clear look to him. It's a little odd how the peg at the end that ports in his hand is a little bit thick and it's rounded, so it doesn't look natural to like how a web would actually look. By the way, his holster does come attached to him straight out the package. I usually keep it in the box as it tends to pop out, but it does hold fairly nice and it's got some good detail to it. And then you have a set of these match holder hands with what looks like a match. What was the story behind that? Oh, sometimes I light it up to feel something. I think that's cool they included that. I think if it was a little less opaque, it might have been cooler, but the way it looks now does go good with his design, and you just put it in his fingers nice and easy. And then you get two different pistols. One of them came in a baggie, not too much detail really going on with it. Looks like black plastic. The bulbous part for this one pistol does not rotate or disconnect, and there's no holes for any type of Spiderverse effects. You can get that pistol into the holster kinda, but they only included one trigger hand, so no dual wielding for you. That was a little odd. And then you get an alternate head scope, which is literally the same exact head scope as the one that's wearing the hat. No change in the expression, no nothing. And they didn't include a standalone hat. Honestly, I would have preferred it if they did it like the hat was removable and then made that alternate head a whole nother expression. That would have brought his accessories over the top. Running through this guy's articulation, so I finally watched Across the Spider-Verse like 2 months ago. I kept putting it off. I think I finally put it on Netflix, and honestly, everybody was saying it was good, but me, I think the first one was better. I don't know, something about the colors, man. It was just too busy, and it was the story too. It just didn't pull me in like that. I'm curious to get my hands on one of these comics to see what he was like in one of those, man, because I'm pretty sure he was probably watered down in the movie. Got some interesting engineering at the show. This looks like a big hinge with a peg going on each end. That peg going into the torso, you could essentially mimic a really good butterfly joint, so I think it's an acceptable form of articulation. It can get a little broken up, and I found some spots where it's a little tricky for me getting his arms in a natural pose, but it's not too bad. You know what I was just thinking about? Those Spider-Man games. I gotta get back into those. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 because, man, them PS5s is way too expensive. I'm not about to save up for that. But every now and then I like to play Miles Morales, and only when I'm focused though, man, because with those reflexes or hard mode, you gotta be quick. But I think this guy right here should get his own video game. I think they should do it just like how Infamous was done, where you can kind of change the narrative. That'd be cool. Just in case I didn't mention it, you do have a universal hinge at the wrist, but you're not going to get much range due to those hard plastic cuffs right there. So for a Spider-Man, it's a little limited. And I'm surprised they didn't go with a soft diaper piece for his pelvic area. I think that would have took his articulation to the max. Before Spider-Man, I'd say he moves pretty decent. Looks like they went with the old McFarlane style, the way they got the hinge on the side of the leg and it comes out. I'm not sure just yet how I feel about that, and apparently these little thigh pieces do pop off occasionally. Makes it a little tricky to do a splits. But back to the Spider Noir game, you can play the game to where you're going down a good path or play the game to where you're going down a bad path, and you get some optional replies to where you can change the outcome of a situation, and you get some DLC to make it black and white if you want. That'll be cool. Go too far with the ankles. That pig likes to slide out, so officially you're not going to hit that Legends rocker. I kind of wish he can get his foot up a little further, but I do like that his toe hinge is tighter than most, so I appreciate that, but his knees are kind of loose. And of course his coat is kind of back heavy, but it's fairly manageable. Just in case you were curious, you can get his legs to go back a great amount. There's no swivel at the calf, 2 points of rotation at the torso. You do get some decent side to side with an acceptable spider crunch.
I said it was acceptable. That doesn't mean I'm going to accept it.
In an effort to give this guy an alternate trigger hand, I do find that you can use the Mezco trigger hands. It does sit on that pig really good, but it doesn't sit all the way on that pig, so I wouldn't actually recommend it. I'm not sure why I put this part in here, so never mind. For your size comparisons, here we have him next to your Jada Toys, your Mattel UFC dude, your Hasbro, and your Revoltech. Next here we have him next to your SH Figure Arts, your Mafex Comic Spider-Man, your Sentinel Miles Morales, and your McFarlane. And you know what? I think Miles and Noir look kind of odd together, but I think this Miles is actually from part 1, so I guess it's okay. And lastly, here we have him next to your Nekomata Kuni, your Kotobuki Ninja Turtle. That took 15 takes. I think finally I got it right. Wait, what? Looking at the box, I recalled that this Noir is actually from Into the Spider-Verse, so I don't know why I was thinking he was from part 2, so my original comment about him and Miles Morales still stands. But final thoughts on the Sentinel, Into the Spider-Verse SpiderMan Noir. My biggest gripe with the figure is going to be his knees. The swap-out face issue is kind of frustrating, and his coat, I'm not very partial to it, but the fact that you can remove it, I appreciate that. However, I ended up ripping it, which I didn't think you could do. Needless to say, I was pretty irritated. For the price point Sentinel likes to charge, we should not be dealing with issues like this, but if you could find them under 95, I would say go for it. But ultimately, this figure is fun and very solid. If you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back, and if you are so inclined, drop a HB in the comment section below. Today's my birthday. I also included some extra stop motion at the end. A little prologue for you. That's the video. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Alright, give it up, old lady. You know what time it is.
Get off of me, you hooligan. I have to get home.
Just let go of the purse, right? I don't want to hurt you.
No, I'm not giving you anything. Have you no respect? I'm a veteran.
The name's Jack Crass. 2 years ago, I lost the love of my life. Lost everything. Now all I do is hit the bars and collect Marvel Legends. I don't really care what you do in my city anymore, as long as you don't figure swap the windowless packaging. Tonight I found myself in a dilemma. Should I stop these two thugs from robbing this old lady, or find someplace quiet and finish the rest of my beer? Not a dime in my pocket. The beer's cold and fresh. Figure I'd take my leave now, while I can still walk a straight line. Ooh, I think I have tater tots left in the fridge. Damn.
Please, sir, please don't walk away. They're robbing me.
There goes my beer.